Alright, for today's lesson, we are going to use the Extrude feature. So go to your Onshape account, click on Learning Center, go to Self-Paced Courses, Learning Pathway, go to your Introduction to CAD, and alright, so you should be continuing with your Introduction to Part Design. So view the course, and go to basic features, watch this video, and then go to the exercise extrude. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be drawing today. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split up my screen. Move myself right here. Okay, so it says here, create a multi-feature part, understand how to create sketches for an extrude feature, and then use the extrude feature. So let's go on with this. There's 12 slides to this. So to begin with, create a new document. So create document and name this exercise extrude. Okay. All right. Step 1, create a new document and begin a sketch on the top. So we're going to be using this one. So sketch, click on top. Okay, so top plane, and then you go here and then right click and then say view normal to. Okay, and see what happens. So it puts the top view in perspective for you to be able to draw. And then somewhere here, right click and then say hide all planes. Okay, and so there you go. All right, to continue, so click on the next slide, and then says here sketch a corner rectangle, making the endpoint coincident to the origin as shown. So draw a rectangle. Okay, and then right click, escape rectangle, click at this corner, upper right corner, and the origin point, and then go to your constraints and then say coincident. Okay, so there you go. Next slide, sketch a line whose endpoints share a midpoint with this left vertical line and the bottom horizontal line. So click here, let's zoom in, and then as I move the mouse here, you'll see that there's that square, that's the midpoint. So I click there, and then I move my line through this horizontal line, and as you can see, there's the midpoint. So right click, escape line. So that's the next step. Next one, dimension. So go to dimension. This is 5. And this is 3. Okay, so here you go. Next slide. So select the extrude feature and choose the sketch profile as a sketch region. So pick blind as type. Okay, so that we're back to the isometric view, I could click here and say isometric. And so I have to check sketch 1. We're done sketching. And then we're going to click on extrude, and we're going to click on the feature 1 extrude. And it says here blind. If you watch the videos, there's different types. So we just need blind, and then change the depth to 1.25 inches. There you go. Okay, so accept it by clicking on the check. Next slide. All right, so it says here, select the back face of the part to begin a second sketch. So you can click and hold the middle, not the middle, but actually the right mouse button. So click and then move it around. As you can see, I could move it around. So click and hold, and then click on sketch and click here. Alright, so it says here face of extrude 1, which is this one. Okay, and then next says here sketch the line shown. So we're gonna have to draw this. Okay, but the way it wants us to draw is it wants us to draw with this part, with the front part facing us. So I'll be clicking from here. There you go, that's the front. And then I'm just gonna choose the line and I'm just gonna draw. 1 and click, 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 and so. Okay, and make sure that you actually draw this first horizontal line right here. And as you notice that this is grayed out, which means it's a close contour. Next side. Okay, so we're supposed to draw these lines, construction lines. So I could start off with just a regular line coming from this to here. It has to be horizontal. And then from here, it says here, be sure that the vertical construction line is connected to the midpoint of the top line. So here's the top line, so I need to look for the midpoint. There's the midpoint, and then straight down here, and then escape line. Okay, and then sketch a circle centered at the intersection of the two construction lines. So I have to change this into a construction line. So I click this and this, change it to a construction line. There you go, and then now draw a circle. All right. Next slide. Okay, check to be sure all sketch constraints shown are in your sketch. So if you want to see all the sketch constraints, you could click here where it says show constraints, and then you'll see all the constraints. Okay, next. Okay, we have the dimension. As you can see, some of the lines are still in blue, which means they're not properly constrained yet. So let's dimension. Says here that this should be from top to the bottom. Should be 4. And then from this point to the bottom should be 2.5. And then this line to this diagonal is 30 degrees. And then the circle's diameter is 1.25. Okay, so everything is now in black, which means this is completely constrained. So click check. Okay, next slide. All right, it says here, extrude the sketch profile towards the front of the part. So let's click here and then let's go isometric. So I could click here, select that profile, and then click on extrude, and then change the direction to the opposite direction. And then we are going to say we're adding this so that this and this would be just one part instead of 2. If you notice, there are 2 parts right here, part 1 and part 2, but if you click on add, it becomes part of that, the first one. Okay, so yeah, we have to go by 1 and then click check. All right, so there you go. So next slide. It says here, the part in the image has been renamed extrude. Okay, so this one right here, which says part 1, if I right click on it, I could click on rename and then type extrude. So that's how you change the name of a part. Okay, and then next slide. Okay, so we need to find out the mask property. So this is the only way for us to find out if you actually drew this right. You're gonna have to click here and then right at this part, it says display mask property. So you have to click on that, and then look at the volume. Okay, look at the volume. Once you've seen that, now go to your exercise, begin self-check, and then choose the answer to which one. And you should be able to get the correct one. Okay, so what do I need from you for today? I need to see this sketch plus the mask property. And if you could move the mask property somewhere to the corner like this and do a screenshot, that shows your name, the drawing, plus the mask property. And that's what you sent to me to alvaricoj@mdusd.net. And do not forget to close your document. It's already saved. You just have to close it.